Yep. Why is it important to think carefully about something that is obvious? The Epicureans mock Euclid for wasting his time proving something that anyone would have said is true. What you're saying is so obvious, even a donkey knows it. I had a friend when I was growing up who often described things as obvious. Obviously, you didn't like the movie. Obviously, you didn't study very hard for the exam. The doors are locked. Obviously, the store is closed. Sometimes I would get annoyed at this. It seemed a little presumptuous, almost insulting. One day I thought of a better word to use. Apparently. Apparently you didn't like the movie. Apparently the store was closed. I liked this better because it didn't assume everything was clear and understood already. It suggested that our observation of something is limited, that we might not completely understand what we're seeing. Apparently feels open. There's more here I need to find out. This is the kind of attitude Euclid brings to geometry. It's not enough for him to say something is obviously true. He didn't assume that he knew it, only that he could see it. It appears that any two sides of a triangle are longer than the remaining one. But is it? How do we know? Why? Is it this way in every case? Proclus criticizes the Epicureans and affirms Euclid, but this is not science versus intuition. Intuition plays an important role in discovery. It's often the first step, a prerequisite. Euclid probably started from an intuitive sense about triangles himself. He could probably tell, just like the Epicureans, that triangles had this property just by looking at them. But he interrogated the matter, digging deeper to understand how it could be this way. We call what Euclid wrote a proof, but it could easily also have been called an explanation. Not only does he take the triangle apart and put it back together, he traces the process step by step so that we ourselves recreate the process of understanding the triangle the way he does. He isn't just proving something, he's teaching us how something works. In all likelihood, this proof probably didn't come to Euclid in a logical, efficient way. We only see the final, cleaned up version, but getting it to this point was probably cumbersome and difficult. If the Greeks had invented paper, his study would have been strewn with crumpled up failures, crossed out diagrams, and X'd out propositions. But the final version is polished, elegant, and exceedingly clear. In many ways, it's like a work of art. It's beautiful. Its beauty comes from its elegance, and its elegance comes from its simplicity and clarity. Lately, I've been intrigued by an aesthetic known as minimalism. It's an artistic style, or even a way of life. The idea of minimalism is to eliminate everything except for the essence of the subject. It is spare and stripped down. Less is more. It can be applied to any context: photography, music, architecture, design. It makes use of what in art is called negative space, what in design is called white space, and what in music is called silence. Left with only essentials, we get a sense of the subject's basic form. Euclid's proof reminds me of minimalism. It's focused and simple. It only tries to do one thing really well. It is precise, including only what is necessary, cutting out all the extraneous information and circuitous loops of reasoning. It is simple and direct, showing exactly what it promised it would show, and no more. QED. The proof is complete. That which was set out to be demonstrated has been demonstrated. There is something wonderful about this. The quality of a concept being finished or whole, a discrete unit of meaning. When I was in college, sometimes it felt like I was only doing small, very specific projects, writing short papers, putting my creative energy into tasks that wouldn't have much value in the larger scheme of things. The primary purpose was training and practice, but these were small opportunities, finite as they might seem, to refine something until it had elegance and depth. I'm not saying every paper you write or project you create is going to be as perfect as a Euclidean proof, but the potential is there. Quality over quantity. Euclid's proof might be a tiny part of everything we know, but that's how larger, greater things get started.